Hi guys, it's me, Ruowen Huang. Before I begin, let me first introduce myself. My name is Ruowen Huang. I'm an author, spirit coach, and also a psychic. Today, I want to talk about working your task. The reason this topic come about is throughout the times of consultation, people come to me and complain such as, I've been working my task for a really long time. I've been working really hard, but how come I still haven't seen any result yet, right? Hi everyone. Yeah. So I truly believe you guys been working your test really hard, and I have no doubt you are trying every way you can to evolve yourself. But why getting deeper into investigation, try to understand how do you define working your task. I start to realize most of people believe in working your task as simply forcing yourself to do something that you don't like. That is, you know, I broke up with my, this is a typical, I broke up with my ex-boyfriend, and then we work in the same office and things like that, and I really don't want to see him. But I know I have to work my task, so I force myself to work in the same unit with him. I force myself to be in the same room with him. That's not really what I'm trying to say. Yes, working your task will require you to confront your fear. But what you will fear may not be what you don't like. Does that make sense? If you're very clear what is like you like and you don't like, it's not necessarily something you don't like, but it may. So what I'm saying is, when it comes to working your task, you have to be able to identify certain element. First, it may be something that you're afraid to do. I'm afraid to ask my boss to raise the salary, but at the end of the result, will I like it? Yes. At the end of the result, I will like it. So that's something I'm afraid. I don't like to do. Yes, maybe, but it's definitely something you're afraid to do. But it's not necessarily like something you don't like, because the result is once you do it, would you like the result? You will love the result. So many of you come to me and questioning me, don't know how to work your task. Here is very simple things. In order to identify your task, you had to be able to separate yourself. If you know what I meant by separate yourself, you have to first separate your logical mind that is given or nurtured by the environment or logical element to it, and then it has to separate from your heart, like what your heart feel is right, what you think is right. That is, I'm gonna give you a very typical example. The very typical example is many people live in a very emotionally abusive family, or the parent can be very emotional and always emotionally bribing you or manipulate you or threatening you or whatever. If you do that, I'm gonna kill myself. If you do this, if you ever leave the house, those are kind of extreme cases, but not necessary. But if you're living in the house and having maybe single parents or both parents very manipulative or very emotionally abusive or etc., in your logical mind, you will tell yourself, they are my parents. I have to stay here. If I don't stay here, they have no one, or blah, blah, blah. Those are called logical mind. But what your heart feel is you might feel abused every day. You feel emotionally drained. You feel tired. You feel simply helpless. You know what I mean? And your heart is feeling otherwise. So while your logical mind is telling you, no, they are your parent, you have to stay here, you have to, look after them because they have no one, blah, 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 such as a logical mind, how your environment teach you, your heart simply know this is not right. That I cannot live in such kind of life. So in this case, would I say doing your test is by living at home, being abused by your, abused parent? No, that's not doing your test. Or they're abusive. They could be emotionally abusive, or they could be physically abusive, or they could be whatever abusive. Your task is not living at home so you can continue being abused until one day you become thick-skinned and you don't feel anymore. that is never the way you're doing the test. The real way to doing your test is really listen to your heart and feel what is right. What is right for you? If what is right is, even though they are not they are my parents, but I'm being abused and my heart simply feel wrong, I cannot be in this relationship anymore, then your choice is to leave. So do you understand where the fear come in? The fear is telling you to confront what is right, and then you have to go. So you may have to say, sorry, I just cannot take this anymore. I have to go. Or whatever reason that is. But taking that step is how you work your test. So anyway, those are very typical example that I can give it to you, which I heard from so many of you were giving me, I'm working my test, which when you refer working your test is doing the other way, which is allow yourself to be abused by the other half, by your parents, by your boss, or even by your colleague or friends. You believe by taking in all the abuse behavior, which I don't care what it is. It can be mental, it can be emotional, it can be physical. You come to me and ask me, how come my life is not getting better while I'm working my test? Here, I really want to clarify myself. While doing your test, you will very likely be confronted by your deepest fear. To stand up for yourself, to protect yourself, to find a way to become someone that you really want to be, even though your environment don't really support that. That yes, by doing your task, you will be confronted by your deepest fear, but it's not necessary to do something that you don't like or you hate it so much. So doing your test, please be at least able to separate yourself from your logical mind and from your heart. If many situations you got no idea how to do this, really my best advice to you is to jot it down, write it down, write down the reason why you should stay, and write down the reason why you should leave. So when things are in our head, because it was so jammed up, like we got no idea what it is that we should do, and that's the most situation. So I really learned one thing is, once you put down on the paper, it's so clear, black and white, and it's in front of you, somehow you're able to analyze what is right. Even though you don't know how to analyze it, that would be a good chance for you to ask your friends, hey, what do you think? I'm just not feeling right. Listen to your heart sometimes. Usually your heart is what will guide you to do your task. So anyway, I hope this one really clarify you, because it's hard for me to listen to you guys suffer. I mean, why? The recent case I heard is a girl constantly being verbally abused by the boyfriend, but she believed working her test is staying with him, try to convert him, try to change him, try to taking the abuse. So please don't do that. Honestly, please don't. But I really hope you guys have a great life, but that's not your way of doing your test. I mean, you can do this forever, but I'm pretty sure no one is gaining anything from it. So anyway, if you like what I'm doing, you can always join me live on Facebook, or go to subscribe my YouTube channel or my website at ruowen.com. Don't forget to watch the ads for 30 seconds. So contribute to my cup of coffee. Till then, next time. Bye.